very multifarious and very fragmented country, divided by islands, languages, and so forth. And as Dr. Tony Lavinia often says, we have to build the Philippines as a mosaic, town by town, city by city, province by province. That's the way to do it. And so we said, that's what we will do. We will have a school of government, and we will engage local governance. And that's what we have been doing. We delivered a public management program in towns. So right now, we started in Calapan, Mindoro. We have been running it in Iloilo, I think the second batch already. In Marawi, they're all here. They're all here. Great. The students are here. And in Nueva Ecija, in La Union, in different places. And there are many examples we can tell you of the change that is happening town by town, province by province. It's unfortunate that our newspapers are a little lazy and they only interview people in Manila. If they would only take a little time and go to these places, they will see great transformation. When I became president, one of the things asked of me is, will Ateneo start a school of medicine? Because we have many doctors who went on to other medical schools. And my answer in 1994 is actually in our document is, no, we're not going to start a school of medicine. There are more than enough schools of medicine in the Philippines, and they migrate anyway. So, but in 1997, we came back to that question because we realized that public health is very central. As I said, it's one of the capability builders. And you cannot engage public health unless you engage the clinicians as well. So in 1997, we said, all right, we will start a school of medicine, but it cannot just be school of medicine. It has to be a school of medicine and public health. The doctors that we're going to train will not only be worried about the care of the individual patient in front of them, but they must worry about the health of their community, of their town, of their province, and hopefully of their country. And they must also learn management, because they cannot do that unless they also learn management. So our students will also get an MBA at the end. So that's the second, engaging not just individual people, but institutions of health. And despite the fact that we didn't have a school of medicine, Dr. Bengzon was a Secretary of Health, Manulet Dairit, Secretary of Health, Quasi Romualdez was a Secretary of Health. So we had illustrious Ateneans who have been in the health institutions. Our graduate school of business, Milton Friedman said that the only purpose of business is to make profit, and we said, no, we disagree. Jesuit leader of a Union of Christian Businessmen in Europe says that, put it this way, he says, profit is to a business like health to an individual. If you are not profitable, you are unhealthy, and you will eventually collapse, so you don't do any good. So it's very important for a business to make profit because it has to be a strong and healthy business. But just as we cannot say that our purpose in life is to be healthy, we want to be healthy so we can achieve our purposes, but our purpose is not health. So he says the purpose of business must be eventually beyond profit. And so for the Graduate School of Business, over the years, it evolved into a motto which says that our business is, we have to be profitable, but ultimately, our country is our business. The whole purpose we have is to help build this nation. So we do many things, but among other things that we have done very recently is we invite our business schools here, as well as in Loyola, to create businesses, for example, for Gawad Kalinga and other poor communities, and we have some wonderful successes. And because of that, we have now established a Center for Social Entrepreneurship, precisely to provide support for those who are trying to create businesses, not dole-outs, not charity, not just CSR, but businesses, run as businesses, with rigid financials, marketing, production quality, and so forth, real businesses for the poor. The Ateneo Law School, with the putting up of the Juris Doctor program, they have gone beyond just preparing for the bar, which is important, but to say, no, we must engage them in research in areas that are important for our country. We have a very strong human rights center, legal aid and immersion programs, which really bring our lawyers very much to the needs of the people most greatest in need. And I think we are proud of our lawyers who really seek to be for the benefit of the poor. The bigger challenge eventually to our law school is how do we transform the whole legal profession, and how do we transform the legal system in the country, which we know has to be part of the solution, but is often part of the problem we have in building the nation. We will not talk about it here, but since it's so crucial, in Loyola Heights, we focus very much on the other point of Amartya Sen, which is the building of schools. There's an article written by Amartya Sen, the Nobel Prize-winning economist in around 2000, in the New York Times, entitled "To Build a Country, Build a Schoolhouse." And following him, we started in 2002 with 4 very large and very poor elementary schools in Payatas. The 4 grew to 8, then to 16. We now work with all the 143 schools in Quezon City. We work with about 200 plus schools in Nueva Ecija, including San Isidro, where Mayor Sonia Lorenzo is here, and San Jose, Nueva Ecija, and in Parañaque, a total of 400 schools. The smallest scale we work with is a whole town, or maybe a whole barangay, but Payatas is a barangay of 125,000 people. No? And we want to tell you that the system works if you're patient with it. In Quezon City, for example, their performance in 2005-2006 was between 40 to 45% in the elementary. It has gone up to 74 to 80%. That's the whole city. No? We're not talking about an individual school. In 2008-2009, however, high school has hardly moved. So we're now struggling to understand how come high schools have not improved. So it's still a long way to go. Gawad Kalinga, as you know, is the largest and most successful movement to build homes and communities for the poor. I think this was taken in Legazpi after Typhoon Reming. And we want to tell you that Ateneo de Manila, together with GK, has participated in the building programs. We have built over 600 homes in 7 communities. But equally important is that the homes are just the start. So in all our communities, we're engaged in preschool education, health, and youth formation. And our students here, as well as in Loyola Heights, are very engaged in social entrepreneurship. We challenge them. Every year we have a competition called a challenge on social entrepreneurship, who creates the best business for a Gawad Kalinga or other poor community. Finally, and this, we're at the end, a university has to be measured by research. But we tell our people that we want to move beyond just research and publications for the sake of research and publications, and to say, how can we have research that will have an impact on national development? We want to measure it not only by publications in prestigious journals, but we want to measure it, will it eventually make a contribution to national development? So let me end with that. I have another slide, but I think essentially our journey continues. And today then is an invitation to you to engage and to join us in this journey of building our nation. Again, institution by institution, town by town, city by city, province by province, and then bringing them all together so that we begin to say maybe 10, 20 years from now, we will no longer be the one country in our region that has not made progress on poverty. That haunts me all the time, that continues to haunt me. How can we be so bad? How can we be so unsuccessful in overcoming poverty? That if there's one thing that haunts me, that's the thing that haunts me all the time. It's not impossible because our neighbors have done it. And they started also from very difficult circumstances. And so if I leave you with anything that should bother you, it's that question. Every year, look at the statistics and look at how Indonesia has moved, how China has moved, how Vietnam has moved, how Thailand has moved, and ask ourselves, how come we are not moving? Or maybe better, what can I contribute to make us move forward? That is what drives us at the Ateneo de Manila. We want to really see a day when we can finally say we have begun to move. We have begun to move and begun to reach out and transform the lives of more and more of our people who are poor. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you very much, Father Ben, for inviting us to build the nation by confronting and attacking the poverty challenge. But how exactly do we do that? More importantly,